Well, hi everyone, Sean Humphreys here. Welcome to All Things Retirement. In this installment, we're going to talk about the continued theme of traits we should be cultivating long before the retirement date and as well through our retirement years. And the specific trait that we'll talk about is the trait of charity. So I think you'll enjoy this video. Now, if you're new to our channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're posting content all the time on various aspects of the retirement journey, the preparation phase, the transition to retirement, and of course being retired. So if you don't want to miss future content, hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's talk about the trait of charity and why it's so important to cultivate this trait up to and through our retirement planning years. Now, the research around charity seems to indicate the following. First of all, those people who live charitable lives, that means lives where you're focused on not just yourself, but others, your community, giving back, seem to have a better overall retirement experience, and they seem to be able to fight back the degenerative aspects of aging more effectively. Now, research from the Corporation of National and Community Service indicates that those who give of themselves boost their self-esteem and also gain a sense of more control over their own life. So specifically from their research, they say in particular, older volunteers report lower mortality rates, lower rates of depression, fewer physical limitations, and higher levels of well-being. In fact, many studies seem to indicate that those who volunteer and give back to their communities and their families frequently will live longer and have less overall disability experiences. In the book, The New Retirementality, Mitch Anthony makes the comment, there is an observable difference in the aging of the soul between the self-absorbed person and the selfless one. Giving to others, volunteering, and being a part of a meaningful, significant activity seems to help promote healthier attitudes, which in turn improve one's health and contentment in life. So part of the retirement journey is really doing a self-assessment and saying, how much of your life is about just you and your interests and what's important to you, and how much do you actually give back to your community, your families, and to others through volunteer efforts. And to the extent that you foster the volunteer aspect of your life, that actually improves the potential for overall happiness, fulfillment, and even health through retirement. So do that self-assessment. What aspects of your life now are you giving back to your community, giving back your skills and abilities to make a difference in other people's lives? Now, Mitch Anthony makes a really interesting remark in his book, The New Retirementality. He says, aging reflects a relationship of time on our being, and aging describes in large part the state of our bodies. However, old describes our state of mind. Now, there's a very intimate connection between how we handled our health, our nutrition, our stress, and how we can give back to the world. To the extent that if we have energy and dynamism in our old age, we have the ability to give back, and that creates this virtuous cycle where we end up experiencing greater happiness through our retirement years because we have the energy to give back to others. So I think Mitch Anthony really summarizes this whole discussion really well in a paragraph from his book, The New Retirementality. He says, this dynamic of engaged living until the day we die is not automatic, but is accomplished by the purposeful and intentional discipline of those souls who choose to live every day. They accept the inevitability of death, but have chosen not to give death a head start in their souls. Attitude becomes a matter of preeminence, for attitude is the rudder that steers the ship on this journey. Release the rudder for a single day, and you can sense a sort of existential seasickness. Release it for a week, and you will drift aimlessly or be tossed on the rocks. Release the rudder for any longer period, and shipwreck is inevitable. This is the truth I witnessed time again on the retirement landscape. So to summarize, there's an intimate connection between our physical health, our mental, emotional health through our retirement years. And there are many disciplines to begin cultivating long before we hit the retirement date. So let's summarize some of those key disciplines. First of all, make sure you, on a regular basis every week, work your heart. Get that heart rate up, whether it's through walking, jogging, or other aerobic exercise. Make sure you make that part of your regular weekly activities. Number 2, engage in weight training or strength training. Many have said that the fountain of youth for retirees is maintaining lean muscle mass. Make sure that 2 to 3 times a week you're engaging in some sort of strength training. Maintain physical intimacy as much as possible, both in terms of your partner and, of course, just social relationships are critical in terms of the relationships we have. Schedule charitable and altruistic activity into every single week. Give back to others. Don't make it just about your hobbies and what you want to do, but give back to the world. And when you do that, you'll experience a much more fulfilling life, particularly through your retirement years. As well, don't join the moan and groan sorority or fraternity. It's important that you begin to look at your relationships, and if they're all moving towards the same sort of demographic age grouping, you want to be intentionally beginning to maintain relationships with younger people, more diverse groups, so you have a more overall holistic point of view around life. And engage in work activities that utilize your talents. So for many retirees, transitioning into retirement doesn't necessarily mean full retirement. They still may be engaged in using their skills or professional abilities to work, give back, to create, and to maintain cash flow if that's an important part of their retirement planning. Drink a little coffee to start the engine, a little wine to wind down at the end of the day. And examine your soul each day with reading, prayer, reflection, self-check of your motives and words and in actions. And if you do those things, you'll increase the probability of not just a long and healthy retirement, but a much more satisfying and fulfilling one. Anyways, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you don't want to miss future content, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you're beginning to think about your own retirement journey, either wanting to get an assessment as to whether you're tracking in the right direction, or you're not yet retired, but you're beginning to plan for retirement, make sure you hit the link in the show notes. It'll take you to our website that talks about the complimentary retirement planning snapshot or process that we offer individuals. As well, we've got educational resources that you can access free of charge. Anyway, wishing you all the best in your retirement and wealth planning journey. You take care.